host on this channel. In this video, we will have our discussion on the yearly predictions for the next year 2024 for all the rising signs. And before we will start our discussion, I wish all of you heartiest wishes and blessings of this upcoming new year. May all of your wishes come true. May you will find your purpose, and this year will bring you good wealth, health and happiness in all areas of your life. So guys, before we will jump into the customized results for this upcoming new year, customized to your Lagna, let's first try to understand how the vibe of this year collectively is going to be influencing all of us. So guys, if you remember, like at the time when I made a video for the year 2023, I mentioned this thing that from the numerology point of view, the universal year turned out to be of 7, which is a number of extremities because it is being ruled by the planet Ketu. And we all have seen that the war which took place, like Israel and this Hamas situation which we all are witnessing, so that generally tend to remain a theme in the universal year of 7. But guys, when we talk about the vibe of the 2024, the sum total of that will give you the universal year vibration of number 8, which is being governed by the planet Saturn. Second thing is that even in the transit next whole year, Saturn is going to be strengthened in the sign of Aquarius, its own Mool Trikona sign. And Saturn is going to be traveling in the majorly in the Sadbhisha Nakshatra and the Purvabhadrapada Nakshatra. Both of the nakshatra are somehow very much conducive and favorable for Saturn to manifest good results. And also guys, in one of the video, I also mentioned this thing that as per our lunar calendar calculations, this year is also the Samvatsar. It is carrying the energy of the Mars, as Mars is the ruler of this year. So definitely when we talk about the combined energy of the Mars and Saturn, so that definitely benefit all those people who are in the fields of engineering, construction, you are a builder or anything to do with the innovative work. So definitely this year will give you lot many opportunities. Apart from that, Jupiter is going to be transiting in the sign of Aries till the end of the April of 2024, and at the beginning of the May, it will transit to the sign of Taurus. So guys, one thing is for sure that because in the original Kalpurush Kundli, Aquarius is a sign of gains and Taurus is a sign of wealth. Now as you can see that both of these two planets and these zodiac signs are going to be in a strengthened state because Saturn being in the Aquarius and Jupiter being in the Taurus. Second thing is that the transiting Ketu is now going to be getting aspected by the planet Jupiter. That in itself is a very good indication that in order for you to reap the reward of all those things which you have done, your soul has accumulated from the journey in the past so many lifetimes, this year can actually give you the results of that as well. And lastly guys, I always say this thing that whenever in the transit, if these two major planets, Jupiter and Saturn, are jointly influencing any sign, so the tendency to gain something very substantial connected with the attributes of that zodiac sign tend to remain very strong. So guys, during this year, once Jupiter will transit the sign of Taurus, Jupiter will aspect the sign of Scorpio, and Saturn is already giving its 10th aspect to the sign of Scorpio. So that in itself means that in whichsoever domain Scorpio energy is falling in your chart, you can actually achieve or accomplish something substantial pertaining to the domain of that zodiac sign and that house. So yes guys, after that now we will shift our discussion customized to that basis your ascendant, what this year is going to be bringing up for you. So guys, the way we will be discussing this yearly predictions specific to your Lagna is very simple. I will be giving you insight over that basis all the houses of your natal chart, how the planets are going to be influencing you. Is there going to be some specific talent, gifts or blessing or advantage which you will experience in the domain of that house, or the transiting planets are going to be creating some obstruction because of which you have to remain extra cautious and alert? That is something which we will try to understand. So guys, starting with the domain of your first house. So now as you know this thing that first house becomes very important because that governs our health, that governs our public image, that tells about our confidence. So guys, the points which I have mentioned over here is that major transformative events will happen for the Aries rising natives, because if you have given attention to the introduction part of this video, I mentioned this thing that the transiting Jupiter and the planet Saturn are jointly going to be influencing the Scorpio sign during this year. So because of which major transformative events will happen. And also, as per the lunar calendar calculation, the Samvatsar, this year's vibration is somehow governed strongly by the planet Mars, which is your ascendant lord. So you guys in a way have got a very strong advantage. After that guys, March month will tend to remain of some accomplishment for you guys, because your ascendant lord is going to be exalted in your 10th house. And even in the month of May, because Mars is going to be conjunct with Rahu, so that is going to be the 1 month where you have to remain extra cautious and careful. So I will repeat, the month of March can actually mark some substantial accomplishment for you. In the month of May, you have to remain extra cautious and careful. The hidden attributes, hidden enemies might be very powerful during that time. And after that, in the month of July and August, it can actually mark some good financial gains for you, because the transiting Mars is going to be conjunct with Jupiter in your 2nd house. So with your 11th house being in a prominent state, along with that, such a good dhan yoga, wealth yoga getting formed in your 2nd house will definitely mark some very good events in your life. After that guys, let's shift our discussion to the attributes of the 2nd house, which governs your eating habits, which tells about your immediate family relation, and most importantly financial flow. So the point which I have written over here is that financially very profitable year, the like more opportunities from the month of May, because I have mentioned after May, Jupiter, your 9th house lord, will transit to your 2nd house. And from over here guys, even if you will pay attention, from the 2nd house, Jupiter is going to be giving its aspect to your 6th house, it's going to be giving its aspect to your 8th house and the 10th house. So definitely not only it is going to be enhancing your public image, more career related opportunities will help you get rid of any of the debts, but also more financial inflow. So I have written over here is that for the 2nd house of yours, financially very profitable, more opportunities from May. March will tend to remain very strong, very important for you, because your 2nd house lord Venus is going to be conjunct with Saturn in your 11th house of gains of income. After that guys, April could be very expensive, because your 2nd house lord is going to be conjunct with Venus in your 12th house. So specifically in the month of April, you have to remain very careful. And because here we are talking about Venus, which is not only your 2nd house lord but your 7th house lord as well. So this could be on the account of your partner, your spouse as well. You might have to bear the bills of so many expensive things and so much of the expenses. Along with that guys, June, in the month of June could tend to remain very prominent for you, because your 2nd house lord, your 7th house lord is going to be accentuated, very well placed in your 2nd house and being conjunct with the planet Jupiter being already placed over there. So definitely guys, pertaining to the matters of your immediate family environment, more financial opportunities, being able to manage your resources well, this year is creating a very good yoga for the Aries Lagna natives. Now guys, shifting to your 3rd house. So now as you can see over here that growth in your influence, March, the month of March, when Mercury, your 3rd house lord, is going to be transiting in the Aquarius, will actually give you some new contacts, some new collaborations and all. In the month of June, Mercury is going to be in the Taurus. So I would say like Taurus and Gemini. So in the month of June, Mercury is going to be transiting from the your 2nd house and the 3rd house. That in itself is going to be a very good yoga, because it is going to be getting conjunct with the Jupiter over there as well. And yes guys, in the month of October, Mercury is going to be transiting. It is going to be exalted in your 6th house, receiving Jupiter's aspect as well, and then it will transit to your 7th house. So I will repeat, pertaining to the matters of your 3rd house, which has to do with your communication, with your connections, with friendship, support, resources and all. So definitely you will have growth in your influence. The month of March will prove to be very significant for collaboration. In the month of June, some good financial opportunities will come to you, and in the month of October, if you have to be in any competitive situation, it will definitely help you. After that, guys, moving to the matters of your fourth house. So guys, definitely fourth house, which tells about our inner emotional state. It also tells about our domestic life, and it also tells about the concerns of buying a home and all those things which gives us security and stability in the life. So guys, as you can see over here, that the points which I have written here is that insecurities will be very strong because Rahu is transiting in another water sign in your 12th house. When it comes down to the aspect of the planet Rahu, there is a debate over there. Lot many astrologers do not take Rahu's aspect because it is a shadow planet. But in a way, if Rahu is transiting in a water sign, whether you will consider its fifth aspect or not, but all what I am giving attention to is that because Saturn is in a strengthened state, Rahu is in a 12th house of unknown. So I would say that definitely, guys, pertaining to the matters of the fourth house, on a physical material plane, as much as of the rewarding this year could be, but on an inner emotional plane, there will be lot many insecurities which you have to deal with. After that, guys, when it comes down to the matters of the fifth house, definitely which tells about progeny, which tells about your intellect, any of the artistic and creative pursuit and all. So as you can see here, that I have written the points that because your fifth house is being aspected by the planet Saturn, so it will make you realistic and very goal oriented. In the month of January, when your fifth house lord Sun is going to be like transiting in the Sagittarius and then moving to the Capricorn, and then it will get conjunct with planet Mars as well. So I would say that the year will start on a very good note for the Aries Lagna natives, specifically pertaining to the matters of your fifth house. If you're an artist, if you are a student, any of the concerns of romance and love relationship, the year will start on a good note for you because your ascendant lord is going to be strengthened and making a connection with your fifth house lord. And along with that, guys, I have written this thing that in the month of April, because April mid onwards, once your fifth house lord is going to get exalted in your first house. So and Mars at that time is going to be transiting in your 11th house. So definitely for the concerns of fame, recognition, more visibility, time period after the mid of April is going to be very prominent for you. After that, guys, in the mid of August onwards, when Sun is going to be getting accentuated in the your fifth house in the Leo sign, and during that time your ascendant lord is going to be transiting in the Taurus. So I would say that during this year, mid of August onwards is going to be creating a very good yoga for people who are engaged in stock market or any of your speculative interest. So guys, I will repeat over here pertaining to the matters of your fifth house. Being aspected by planet Saturn, it will make you very realistic and goal oriented. In the month of January, for the students or for any of the travels or luck supporting you, it is going to be very good energy. In the month of April, like mid April onwards, once your fifth house lord is going to be exalted in your first house, it will be a very good time for recognition, for visibility. And mid August onwards, from the financial and some lucrative return on your investment point of view, it is going to be a good time. After that, guys, let's move on to your sixth house. So as you know, that sixth house which tells about your daily work life. Sixth house tells about your health. It also tells about your fighting spirit. So I would say, guys, that during this year, because your sixth house is going to be receiving the fifth aspect of the planet Jupiter. So specifically, time period after the May 2024 is going to be very good for your health. And let's say, for example, if your money has got struck somewhere or you're trying to get any loan sanctioned or approved, so May 2024 onwards, it will be very much promising and supportive for you. After that, guys, let's look at the prospects of your seventh house. Now, as you know, that seventh house which tells about your marriage, it tells about your public image, any of your commercial interest and all. So as you can see that time period till April is promising for marriage beyond doubt, because Jupiter, till the time Jupiter is transiting in your first house and giving its aspect to your fifth house, seventh house, ninth house, nothing could be better than that. Like Aries Lagna natives till April of 2024 are running a very good yoga for finding a right partner or for getting into matrimonial alliances, and even remaining lucky in the form of having a progeny or childbirth as well. So yes guys, time period till April is promising for marriage. In the month of March and April, your seventh house lord Venus and Mars are going to be transiting in the Capricorn. Like your Venus in the months of March and April is going to be transiting from your 10th house, 11th house, and it is going to be getting exalted in your 12th house. So I would say guys that specifically the month of March and April specifically are very prominent. So guys, my recommendation to the Aries Lagna native is that if you are in that crossroad, or you have to take any important decision connected with your seventh house, all the attributes which I just mentioned, so you should expedite it, you should speed up the whole process, because planets are actually supporting you till April pertaining to the some lifetime related decision connected with the seventh house. After that, if you will look at your 8th house, so guys, this year definitely Aries Lagna natives are actually in a situation to transform their life the way they want it to be, for experiencing miracles and all. This year is very supportive for the Aries Lagna natives, because guys, first of all, as per the lunar calendar calculation, the energy of this year is being governed by your ascendant lord. As per the Samvatsar calculation, it is being ruled by the planet Mars. Second thing is that your 11th house is in accentuated state, and both the planet Jupiter and Saturn are going to be giving their aspect to your 8th house. So that in itself means that blessings in the matter of 8th house, because of Jupiter and Saturn both aspecting it. So guys, whenever it comes down to any of the uncertainties, risks, scandals and depression, diseases, harm on the account of enemies, accidents, all these kind of situation and things which are very painful, which can give us agony and all, they generally comes from the 8th house. So in this regard, you guys seems to be very well protected, that I'm not seeing any major unpleasing mishap or those kind of events bothering you. Rather than that, the blessings connected with the 8th house, where we talk about royalties, inheritance, success in research, exploration, all that can work out for the Aries Lagna natives because of the way planets are aspecting your 8th house. Moving ahead guys, now looking at your 9th house. So guys, as you know this thing that your 9th house lord becomes the planet Jupiter, which till the end of April of 2024 is transiting in your first house. Afterwards, it will move to your second house. So guys, as you can see here that I have written that it is auspicious till April. Afterwards, it is going to be little bit confusing and conflicting. See guys, understand this thing. Jupiter, which becomes your 9th house lord and the 12th house lord, its entry in the second house might be very good for material gifts and blessings, like for more financial opportunities and all. But when it comes down to experiencing the nectar of the spirituality and seeing the essence of any advice which is coming to you, so when Jupiter will enter the sign of Taurus, beyond doubt it is not a favorable sign placement for the planet Jupiter. And for you guys, once Jupiter will transit to your second house, it will be forming a Shadashtak yoga, like 6-8 combination with the 9th house and the second house of yours. So I would say guys that the points which I have written over here is that it is very auspicious till April of 2024, but afterwards, because it is going to be making a 6-8 combination, it will make you very realistic, or I would say opportunistic, and a lot many Aries Lagna natives post April might be more driven towards the financial and material gains and opportunities, rather than driving their priorities towards their dharma, towards righteousness and towards any of the religious or spiritual elevation as well. Now guys, moving to the matters of your 10th house. So as you know this thing that 10th house which tells about your professional endeavors, this is the house which tells about your relationship with your bosses and all sort of professional accomplishments, attainment. So guys, during this year, Aries rising natives are definitely heading towards some very big substantial accomplishments in the matters of their career, because guys the thing over here is that first of all your 10th house lord planet Saturn is going to be transiting in your 11th house throughout the year. Second thing is that the planet Jupiter from your second house is going to be giving its ninth aspect to your 10th house as well. So this joint influence in your 10th house in itself is telling about that whatsoever you will perform, you will do, you will get the immediate result of that. Second thing is that I always say this thing, 11th house is the house of that when you have already performed, the returns comes from the 11th house, but 10th house is the actual house of performance. It is the actual house of battleground. So I would say that if you are in that crossroad that you are applying for a job, or you have to write any important competitive government job exam, or for any of your political aspiration and all, so I will not be surprised that during this year, if you have got good yogas in your chart, you are going through some very supportive and favorable dashas and time period, life will definitely bless you or treat you with some substantial opportunities this year. So that is all what I can say for the Aries Lagna natives. I'm not seeing you guys vulnerable in any way pertaining to the matters of your 10th house. Like rather I would say guys that during this year you actually have to put some extra efforts and life will definitely support you. After that guys, moving ahead to the matters of your 11th house. So beyond doubt guys, once a planet is already being placed over there, transiting over there, so that house gets completely influenced by the energy of that planet. So guys, as you know this thing that Saturn, which is a very hardworking planet for the Aries rising natives, Saturn is a Raj Yog Karaka planet. So I would say that if any of your political aspiration point of view, or you're thinking about scaling up or making some major investments in your line of work, so I would say that this year will definitely support you, bless you. Again guys, when it comes down to the 11th house, 11th house also tells about our public dealing as well. I always say this thing that out of all the air houses, third house engagement and interaction might be very casual, but when it comes down to the 11th house, these are all those people who come in our life who contribute towards our life purpose. So I would say guys that for any of the major accomplishment, achievement, and nothing could be better than that, if your business or your aspiration is connected with the domain of the planet Saturn, you are in the iron business, mining, construction, research, technology, so I would say that this year will definitely bless you, and nothing would be better than that. With this combined energy of the planet Saturn and Mars for you, if even if you have any political aspiration and all, so this year will definitely support you. All what is needed is that you guys have to be very humble, you have to be always willing and ready to unconditionally help people, and along with that guys, if you're actually going through some good yogas and good dasha, this year will definitely support you. So for the attainment of position or being considered for a promotion, for a raise, for any award and all, and staying lucky in connecting with right set of people, important people, prominent people, this year will definitely support you. And lastly guys, pertaining to the matters of your 12th house, so beyond doubt guys, Rahu is going to be transiting in your 12th house. So I always say this thing that see, Rahu is a shadow planet, but when it comes down to the ideas which comes to our mind, Rahu plays a very significant role. So understand this thing that where Rahu is transiting this year for you, Rahu is transiting in your 12th house. So I would say that during this year meditation becomes very important, because when it comes down to what is that entity which establishes our connection with the collective, with the collective unconsciousness over there, both the Aquarius sign and the Rahu plays a very significant role. So yes guys, Rahu being in such a strengthened state, it all comes down to what kind of lifestyle you have. Let's say for example, if you in any case do not give much attention to your sleeping hours, you have any of the substance abuse related concerns and kind of history, then definitely this Rahu can actually make you go crazy. But let's say for example, if you give attention towards your lifestyle choices, you take out proper time for meditation, for sleep, then definitely guys, Rahu's placement in the 12th house can actually bless you. Second thing is that guys, for anything to do with all those professions where staying away from your family, or like I would say any of the secretive covert activities are needed, are required, then definitely guys, Rahu's placement in the 12th house and in combination with how other planets are influencing you, Saturn being in the 11th house, Jupiter being from the first to the second house, definitely the domain of the 12th house will definitely bless you or support you as well. So yes guys, this is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my